Hello. I'm doing a 24-hour live stream to demonstrate how we live in a surveillance state, but of course I'm doing this willingly, so the metaphor is a little muddled.
It's just like, all right, guys, you're watching me on Twitch. This is what the government would be doing. It's the same. Just letting you know.
The government has one employee.
What you see right now is what the government sees.
The government has one employee per citizen that just watches every citizen 24 hours a day.
50% of the nation are government fascists, and the other 50% are you.
No, those government fascists, those come from China. We import the watchers.
Oh,
They're the only ones with 330 million people to just like spare to watch people 24 hours a day.
It's like view farming.
Yeah. But with surveillance.
With fascism.
And today we are going to be fighting fascism on episode 92 of the Voluntary Viewing podcast, recorded on April 12th, 2020. Today on the podcast, we have a man who knows when to hold 'em, but is still working on that folding part, Andrew Clark.
I refuse to fold.
Literally.
You don't do it ever. That's the strat. That's how you win.
We also have a man who is sometimes wheelin', but mostly dealin', Ryan Holtz.
I cannot believe how poorly that night went from a poker standpoint. It was very successful from a friend's standpoint.
Yes.
I think we all had a great time. But, oh my god, was there bad poker plays in that game.
Yes.
Basically from start to finish.
Most notably from Ryan Holtz, who went all in on the fourth hand.
So I went in all in on a pretty decent shot. It wasn't perfect, but it was definitely better than normal. And Lucas had already bluffed twice up to that point.
But we were 15 minutes into the game.
That shouldn't matter at all. Hold on. How far you are into the game doesn't matter.
No. You're right. It doesn't matter. But if you want to keep playing with your friends, and you're like actually not trying to win tons of money, then you don't risk being out of the game 15 minutes in.
Says the guy who was calling every single person saying maybe they're bluffing, even though he himself was bluffing.
And I only was out of the game 20 minutes before it was done.
Yeah.
I played an extra hour and a half.
Played, quote unquote. End result is the same.
Yeah, and I had fun.
I did too. I had a great time.
And then
I had a lot of fun breaking down everyone's hands as we were going. It was a blast.
I loved you being the devil on my shoulder. I needed that push once or twice. Thank you.
I kept telling Lucas to
You don't
just screw people over. It was great.
You don't have to listen to him.
Oh, no, Lucas didn't. But he did. I think I only let him wrong once the entire time. And I definitely helped Lucas get to the chip lead. He was so far ahead of everyone.
Rounding out the podcast is me, the man who kind of blew it in poker last night, but then again, I also lost my final hand with a 2-pair, so who the fuck knows? Lucas DeRuyter.
I mean, I lost my hand with the 2-pair.
Oh, that's right.
So, I don't know what you're so upset about. It's a common theme.
Lucas.
It's a common theme. You think 2-pair is strong, but really it's kind of not.
It's very middle tier.
I guess I didn't realize that we were playing until there was a single winner, or like I knew.
Kind of were and kind of weren't.
Yeah, I think I would have been more aggressive in the middle of that game if I had realized that we were playing until everyone else busted. But whatever, I had a good time. That's what matters.
Now we know.
And now you know, viewers of the Voluntary Viewing podcast, that in order to play poker for free with your friends across the country, all you need is like 3 different I/O apps open on your PC at the same time.
The website is 100% functional this morning, so
Nice.
Fuck us
It's
in particular,
great.
then.
yeah.
I mean, Saturday night seems like poker time. That's when more traffic comes through.
Yeah, I think it was Friday night too when it went down, so makes sense.
We just got to do it on like Tuesday at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, maybe they've ironed out all the kinks and this weekend will be good. We'll find out. What do we talk about on this podcast? It's the quarantine cast.
We're talking about news of the week.
Whoa.
We now know what the PlayStation 5 controller will look like.
An Xbox controller.
Everyone says that, but is that just because of the rounded edges on the sides?
It's just because it's like a slightly similar shape, and it's like I think it's supposed to be a little bit bigger than the old PS4 controller. But
Is it bigger? Is that confirmed? I haven't seen anything with scale in it.
I think it's just a little like wider, or at least it looks like it.
See, but that's what I'm saying. I think everyone's getting
there's
it
no scale
because of the curve on the right and left far edges. Like if that was straight, it would be the exact same as the old Sony controllers. But because there's a slight little curve, people are like Xbox. And it's like, I mean, okay.
I mean, you could also say that most controllers look the same. You know,
they do. But this one, the main difference is that the edges used to be straight lines,
yeah.
And now they are curves, and now people say you're ripping off Xbox. So,
people have also been talking about how white it is, which I guess
it'll come in different colors,
right?
Like,
that was my first thought when
it comes in like 10 colors. They're like, oh, it's white. Who cares? Get a different one.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll get the white one, though, if I have the option, because that'll get scuffed and dirty really easily.
Is that true?
I feel like it. Like, wouldn't white show more, like, dirt and wear than black?
Ian has a white controller, and his isn't dirty at all.
Oh.
He's had it since, like, early days.
I don't think controllers get as dirty as people let them. I think there's people that will eat, like, Cheetos and sour cream and onion chips at the same time as playing video games, and then they just don't wipe off the controller, and they're like, oh wow, it's so dirty. Oh well.
I've definitely never done that. That makes me cringe so hard.
No, I know, but there's tons of people that do that.
Yeah.
There's so many grody controllers out there in the world.
I mean, my PlayStation controllers got a little grody because the sweat would get around the thumbsticks,
right?
And it was like impossible to clean, so I just rolled with it.
That's because you are a sweaty COD player.
Absolutely. No,
I've
running
never
sweats.
sweat while playing a video game. I'm cool as a cucumber.
I can't tell if you're being serious, because if so, that's impressive to me. Because I very much sweat in every video game, even if I'm not trying that hard.
Oh, no, I definitely do not, like, actually physically sweat.
Wow.
You're talking about, like, will I get, like, worked up or, like, get into it? Yeah, sure, but I don't sweat from video games.
I mean, last night we were technically playing a video game, and I saw you sweating a little bit.
I wasn't sweating. I'm just greasy because I'm stuck in quarantine.
Quarantine doesn't have to diminish your own personal hygiene, but it does.
Fuck, I can't think of a good transition for this next one. But if you're looking for
Neither can I.
episode 92, and I still don't have this down.
Hey, I've got a suggestion on how you could transition.
Yeah?
You could skip to television. and not do this next story, Lucas.
No, it's actually not even about that story. Lucas just shoehorned the first sentence. Really, the news is the second sentence.
Fine. The Google Stadia Pro is free for 2 months if anyone hates themselves.
Can you play Stadia with a normal controller, or do you need the Google controller?
I think you
need the Google controller.
Yeah.
Or like a PC.
So
like
once
keyboard.
again, the controller costs money. There's a subscription fee which will be waived for 2 months, but then you still have to buy the games.
Correct.
Yes.
So what? It's not free at all.
Yeah, they're making it seem like it's a console because they're calling it the Pro, but it's not. It's just like an app basically. And then yeah, you still have to buy a controller. You still have to pay for the games, all that kind of shit. Yeah. I wonder why this didn't work.
Yeah, were we already doing the postmortem?
Yeah, I mean, if ever
Google Stadia has gone the way of the Anthem.
Why is Google so bad at like rolling out major products? Like,
Man, I don't know.
they're such a successful company that just fails all the time.
right?
I think that's why they are successful, because like they just do so much. They have so much money to just throw at everything that they're gonna just like they'll do 100 things and maybe like 4 of them will work.
But aren't
And
they?
then those 4 things that work will be really good, but then there's also 96 other failures.
So Google as a company, not including Alphabet, like the larger holdings,
Yeah.
it's really just search and maps,
Yep.
right? That is successful. And ads, I guess, AdSense.
And Hangouts. Don't forget Hangouts.
Well, I imagine
Okay,
AdSense. Well, AdSense.
Is
and
AdSense
people,
a different company, or is that Google?
I think that is still Google, but so I would imagine, yeah, AdSense is the only way they're making money, and for companies directly paying to come up higher in search results. That's
Yeah.
Google's two main methods of income, which when they're Google, that's enough to be successful.
Yeah. And Maps is the only other product that they offer that's really like widely used.
Right.
Interesting.
But I don't even use it.
I don't
use
either.
Apple Maps.
Okay, that's just
What?
Apple Maps is like notoriously garbage. It's like very
Yeah.
well known.
So?
I use it anyway because I'm a masochist, Ryan.
You can't make me do things better than I already do it. I refuse.
Hurt me.
Like Internet Explorer in the
I was
Windows
just
8
going-
tile mode.
I was just going to say, well, first off, fuck you. Windows 8 tile mode was great.
Oh God.
It was so good. Second of all, like, yes, it is exactly like Internet Explorer. I'll use it about 6 years longer than I should, and then eventually I'll get on the other train.
Google Maps predated Apple Maps. Like, you don't even have that excuse.
Yeah, but I always had an iPhone.
Google Maps is an app on the App Store.
Yeah, but I'm not going to download an extra app when there's already Apple Maps
That's
like
crazy,
on
Ryan.
it. Yeah, it comes on it, Ryan. Come
Have you
on.
always had an iPhone? You never had an Android once?
I've never had an Android. It's not like I've had an iPhone since I was,
Yeah, but you had like
in
a Razor
diapers,
or
but-
something.
yeah.
Right?
I had like
LG Banter.
I did have an LG Banter, which was an
Ooh.
excellent phone.
That was not a bad phone. Low
But my
key.
first smartphone was an iPhone 4,
Wow.
which I got when the iPhone 6 came out,
Sure.
Well, yeah.
and then 2.5 years later, I got an iPhone 6.
And you've been
Then
riding that train ever since.
Nope, I got an iPhone 11.
Aw.
I decided,
Look at you.
my iPhone 6 was just like not working. The battery lasted like maybe an hour.
Wait, you went from 4 to 6 to 11?
Yes.
Jesus.
I had the 6 for 4 years.
Yeah,
No,
that thing
just over 3 years.
that thing straight up didn't work, I'm sure.
Yep, it was bad.
I mean,
When I switched over the data, the guy's like, I've never seen one this bad. He's like, how long does your battery last? I'm like, an hour. He's like, well, I'm transferring the data. Like, there's no way to charge it while also like plugging it in to transfer the data. So this might not work.
Jesus.
And it didn't.
Good
It
old
died
iPhone.
like a half hour into the transfer.
Good old iPhone. No, there's no way to actually do this task successfully because they don't think about that sort of thing. Gotta love Apple.
They're kind of like the Google of Apple.
They're the Google of the phone business.
guys,
Even though Google has Google phones.
Yeah.
what if these tech
Google's
companies?
like the Apple of the search engine industry.
What if we give tech companies too much credit? Blanket across the board.
They're good at when they stay in their lanes. It's just they try to branch out and it's always terrible. And I've always thought that Apple, in and of itself, was not necessarily predicated on its like superior technology. It was more marketing and
Yep.
ability to
we-
get everyone on their platform.
I think we give the tech industry too much credit as it is, because we always think of the tech industry as, like Apple and Google and stuff, not really realizing that much like the inner workings of Apple and Google, there's so many goddamn ideas that just don't work, that just fail. So many people have tried to be the next Google and just failed, because the tech industry is not like, I don't know, objectively smarter than any other industry. They just, I don't know, the ones that have made it make a lot of money and they're kind of here to stay.
That did just remind me that, Google also sells people's data. That's the other way they make money.
Yep, that's fair.
The entirety of the tech industry does that.
Yeah.
Every single website that you've ever visited is harvesting data from you.
But you know what you won't be able to visit anymore?
Bars?
An XFL.
Is it my favorite Oh, I was going to say my favorite hentai website. I thought you were going back to Faku.
No, you brought that up of your own volition, Andrew.
Oh.
Andrew, why don't you talk about it? You seem raring to go.
I know nothing about it.
I mean,
other than yeah.
Hey, Andrew, it's okay. Quarantine is a good opportunity to get into new things, and if your new thing is hentai, that's fine.
If my new thing's hentai, I will kill myself.
Yeah. I'm going to give Jade a gun and tell her, if I ever get into hentai, please shoot me in the head.
Here's all my passwords. Here's my internet history.
Yeah, I will try to hide it from you.
Please keep me in check.
Please murder me, though. I'm telling you now, this is a binding contract. You will receive no prosecution.
This gun's untraceable. They'll never be able to find you.
The serial number has been shaved off. I've written a detailed suicide note that you can use.
Just insert date here.
Yeah.
My family will thank you if you tell them it was to keep me from watching hentai.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Jade, how could this happen? It was me. Oh, Jade, how could you do this? No. He started watching hentai. Oh, I'm sorry you had to go through that, Jade.
Oh, thank God. We'll pay for the funeral.
Yeah.
Closed casket, of course.
Yeah.
Don't want to see all the cum. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going.
Oh my god.
I don't know where I'm going with this.
Hentai Suicide is fighting for the top of this title. Right next to Window 8 tile mode was great.
Oh, Jesus. If we had thumbnails on this podcast, I can just picture Andrew's like wide-eyed face. Windows 8 tile mode was great.
No, that's like if this is an academic journal paper, it's just hentai suicide why Apple 8 or why Windows 8 tile mode was great. Andrew Clark et al.
Yeah, and then like a little colon, just like also can't be bothered to switch off of Apple Maps. Oh, no.
Where I was going with this, before Andrew injected hentai in the situation like he's known to do.
So into hentai.
The XFL suspended operations, laid off nearly its entire staff, and has no plans to resume for a 2021 season.
Yeah.
It lasted less than the AFL.
Well,
in the grand scheme of things. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, but the AFL, I mean, like, literally ran out of money.
They didn't, no. Like, the dude shut them down.
Well, no, like, they were out of money. It's not like they were bleeding cash and it just wasn't working. It was, like, they were literally out of money.
Their principal investor pulled the plug.
No, I know. Like, he, as soon as he got what he wanted out of it, he took all of his money and ran, and then there was no one left to bankroll the operation. Yeah. So they had to shut it down immediately. Whereas the XFL was, like, doing okay, and then the pandemic hit, and then they're like, well, we can't come back from this.
Yep. Game over for the XFL.
Do you think we'll ever get a spring football league that will last?
Not after this debacle, right?
Well, I mean, like, people saw the AAF and XFL and thought, like, tons of people were interested in it, but nobody, I don't know. I don't think it was, the idea just didn't work. It was just that it needed more time. I am under the belief that if either the AAF or the XFL had somehow gotten enough funds to last 2 or 3 seasons, then it would be like a mainstay. I think it would last for quite a while.
I mean, the XFL had funds for forever, basically. Like,
right.
The WWE was going to finance it at a loss, even if they had to.
And I think it would have been around next year if the season would have been able to finish.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying, is that, like, it's not like the idea failed, it's that there was a global pandemic that shut down the economy and prevented people from enjoying sports.
Yeah. But now that's part of it. You
Yeah.
know? That's a thing that can happen.
Yep.
It's great.
Um,
Do you think sports teams are going to be like, or sports teams owners are going to be like selling teams in the next couple of years just because of like the potential risk? Be like, oh man, this is not as foolproof. It's not as indestructible as we thought sports were. You know, things can still happen.
I mean,
and they'll be selling teams.
I think that's offset by the fact that there's like nothing that is a quote unquote safe investment right now. Like,
Well, no, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Is like, okay, never mind.
It's showing that everything
yeah,
can get shut down, basically. Because even like on TV where we're airing stuff and you would think more people are watching TV than ever, like people don't want to advertise because no one's buying anything. So like those companies are struggling. They can barely turn a profit. How are they going to advertise? Like that's their first budget that's going to get cut. So like even standard TV models, and then like even Netflix or other shows that don't rely on advertising, they can't make any new stuff. So eventually they're going to run out. Like it's literally going to affect basically everything.
It already has.
My YouTube scriptwriting gig, usually at the start of each new financial quarter, when like a department gets a budget, then like they try to burn out as many scripts as they can at once. But right now it's like, hey, none of this money is guaranteed anymore. We're going to have to reduce pay across the board and put out way fewer videos than what we normally would. Sorry. And like, that really sucks, but it's hitting everyone.
Mm-hmm. It's cray-cray. I love how we still have film as a category.
Yeah, there's no reason to.
Poor film.
I'm trying to think if I heard like any rumors about movies even, but
No.
Taika Waititi released a fake Thor Love and Thunder script on like Instagram Live or something. And apparently it was funny.
I did not hear about this.
Yeah, he's just like, hey guys, I wanted to like read some of my script. You know, like I've been working really hard on it. Like, tell me what you think. And it was like, and now Tony Stark's back. And he's like, oh shit, Thanos is here. Oh man. Thor's like, I'll make a quip and beat him up. Like, I don't know. And then he did some other weird shit. I don't know.
Sounds compelling.
Yeah.
Can't wait. What if like the Marvel Cinematic Universe ended up like the Marvel comic books and like wasn't very well like in line with each other, and like events would happen in some movies that weren't part of the overall universe, and like
30 movies from now they're like, oh man, and then the black hole swallowed Earth and time reversed, and now these characters are back. And,
yeah,
like that kind of shit. They did a DC universe restock.
It'd be not impossible. We haven't really seen the fallout of. Actually, we did. Didn't Black Widow kind of go meh?
It hasn't released.
Oh, did it not?
oh yeah,
I don't think so. I think they postponed it.
yeah.
Never mind then. So yeah, we haven't really seen the impact yet of the cinematic universe coming to a natural end. And now, yeah, they did. They postponed it. Because in theory, Endgame, I would hope, at least for a lot of people like me who were already kind of fed up, was like the natural, all right, we're done watching.
That's the crescendo. There we go.
I mean, how many Marvel movies have come out since Spider-Man Far From Home?
None.
I didn't think so.
I think it was just Spider-Man, and that, was definitely riding on the coattails of Endgame, so.
Right, that was more of like an epilogue.
And now we have Black Widow lined up for, I'm imagining, as soon as theaters are able to open again, and then New Mutants right after that.
Yeah.
And then
I think it might be the end.
What's the movie that's coming out that has like Kumail Nanjiani in it?
New Mutants.
And that is New Mutants?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, jacked Kumail Nanjiani.
God damn.
Yeah, he is. Damn.
With the jawline that could cut glass. The fucking nerdy guy who's best known for his computer programmer character. Yep.
You're not allowed to be that funny and that hot. It's not fair.
I do think he's made some winking references to steroids, though. Like, people have asked him in veiled ways, and he kind of goes like, haha, yeah, I don't know. Wouldn't it be great if there was some sort of compound that helped you put on muscle mass? Like, yeah, I mean, come on. I think it's a pretty open secret at this point. That
it's Hollywood. Like,
yeah.
If you want to look like a superhero, there's one way to do that, and one way to do it only.
Pretty much. And if you want to look like a fat guy, you eat melted ice cream for weeks. Like Christian Bale, I think, right?
No, Christian Bale said it was pie.
Oh, was it pie?
Just a bunch
I
of
can't remember
pie.
who it was. Someone ate melted ice cream because that was just the most efficient way to pack on pure shitty calories to get a gut. They put on an insane unhealthy amount of weight so goddamn fast. I mean, it'd be delicious, kind of, though.
I feel like after like 2 or 3 days, you wouldn't even be able to taste it.
Well, that's what an In-N-Out shake is. A milkshake is basically just melted ice cream, and man, is it delicious.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if it's anything like that,
I feel like for an equal amount of money, I feel like even though it'd be easier to get ridiculously unhealthy, I would definitely choose getting jacked.
What? With the steroids and everything, though?
How much money?
It's the same amount of money.
Yeah, it's the same amount of money for getting fat or getting strong. But you are taking steroids.
I mean, yeah, okay, strong.
Well, you might have shaved off more of your life expectancy taking that route, though.
I feel like more weird complications can arise from getting that unfit that quickly than the opposite.
But you're not just getting fit.
That's fair.
Increasing your heart rate and, irreversibly widening your blood channels and like all sorts of other shit.
Yeah, but if I'm gonna so my family has a history of heart disease, like every family in America. But if I'm going to die prematurely of something wrong with my heart, I would much rather the death certificate say something along the lines of cause of death, muscles too big, took steroids, than cause of death, Shake Shack.
But you're going to die when you're 60 because of steroids. You're not going to be still jacked muscle man. And they're like, he couldn't keep up with all his jacked muscles. It would be like Dolph Lundgren. You'd be really fat and sad at age 60 because you weren't able to maintain that physique.
That's what you think.
I mean, sure. Look, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying.
Can we just take human growth hormone instead of steroids?
Isn't that just recovery basically? I
No.
don't think that helps with stamina.
It does.
Are you sure?
Yeah. It basically just develops cells quicker.
Yeah, exactly. So it's recovery, but it's not stamina, which is where
they're younger,
steroids
healthier
benefit.
cells. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. No, it helps you a lot. But a general purpose steroid for the purpose of building muscle is more about just increasing your stamina so that you can work out 3 or 4 times a day if you want to.
Yeah.
The HGH would be great for the end of the day so that you can work out again tomorrow, but it wouldn't necessarily allow you to have a million sessions a day and just basically work out for 8 hours in a row. Yeah.
How does The Rock do it?
Good question, Andrew.
Let's
ask
out.
Yeah.
And I love
Dwayne
the articles.
Johnson, if you can hear me, I'm coming for you.
I love the articles where they talk about how he has a mobile gym that he carries around to movie sets. It's literally a fully stocked gym that basically unloads out of a semi-truck. And I'm just yeah, that sounds like a guy who's absolutely on steroids and needs to constantly keep a pump in order to not lose any gains. Yep. It shows his dedication for sure, but also exposes a little bit the fact that he absolutely needs to be working out constantly to maintain that physique, which is impossible as a 42-year-old man. So
how does he do it? Steroids and money.
What's my secret? Maybe it's her. Maybe it's
Maybe
Maybelline.
it's Maybelline.
And maybe it's time we talk about how Twitch provides further details on what the platform considers sexually suggestive content and when it will make exceptions to that material. Most notably in this post that they made, one of the exceptions is embeds of Twitch-endorsed content, which feels like a double standard and them basically saying, oh yeah, we're fine with sexually explicit material so long as we're making money off of it.
Interesting.
So
there's a body painting streamer?
Yeah, a couple.
Oh my god.
So, like, am I crazy? Like, is that supposed to be allowed?
I mean, it's literally nudity.
Yeah. These people are completely 100% naked. I don't know. I guess I don't quite understand the double standard. It's that embeds of Twitch endorsed content. What does that mean?
Material will not be subject to these policies. So,
Saying that if
I know, but
they're
what
endorsed-
material is that?
I think they're referring to here ads that would appear on Twitch or like Twitch sponsored things on the platform or something like that.
It's just saying that if Twitch has like officially endorsed your content, it won't be subject to the like sexual standards.
Mm-hmm. What is the is there an example of like a Twitch endorsed thing that was like more racy than, like, for example, body paint streamers? Or is it just like it sets up the potential for this being
Well, it
problem?
says exceptions made for body art. So is that like tattoo Twitch or something?
Yeah, right? Like someone with a nude tattoo or something, I imagine. Like the tattoo is of a naked person.
I mean, the Twitch's comments are intentionally vague. I more read this as, for instance, one of their policies is that, oh yeah, you're not allowed to be wearing a swimsuit unless you're like at a beach or leaving or exiting a beach or an area where a swimsuit would be okay. But then if a Twitch ad comes on and it features people wearing swimsuits or not a lot of clothing, then like that's cool. But not if an actual streamer does it.
They're not going to ban themselves.
Right. But like that's where the double standard comes in.
I mean, would there be ads of people in bikinis in their homes, or would they be in bikinis on the beach?
Potentially.
It feels weird if they were like, and now here's streamer girl Laura with a new ad for KY jelly, and she's just like in her house in a bikini. Like, that sounds...
I mean, have you fucking seen beer commercials? Like...
I haven't seen a beer commercial with women in bikinis in a long time. I guess Corona used to do that, but even then it wasn't like it was a woman with a beer can like drinking
just 'cause
it.
They were on a beach. Yeah.
I don't know. It's. I mean, look, everyone asked for more context, and now then they get context, they get blowback again. It seems like a no-win situation for Twitch.
Being in the public eye is hard.
Yeah.
And it's hard to come up with content for the meme corner.
The memes.
Yeah.
When memes aren't happening very much.
There have not been a ton of memes, it feels like.
No.
It's more like new... What's it called? Just like tweets and like things about the current situation and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, there was the Casket Boys, for sure.
That's true.
That was the thing.
I think, Andrew brought that up last episode, I think. But
Yeah,
still going.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Casket Boys is good. Obviously, we're still in full Tiger King / Animal Crossing meme mode. God damn, let's go through the old Twitter.
No. Did you see Pete Buttigieg's new haircut?
Oh my god,
Oh
no.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
I did not know when I first saw those memes, I thought it was just a random person that looked weird. I didn't know it was Pete.
What? Someone posted a Twitter, and it was the Virgin post-loss Pete versus the Chad post-loss Beto. And Beto's got like a rockin' beard with like a touch of gray, and he's like hanging out drinking wine with his cat behind him. And then it's Pete with his buzz cut like on a morning news show, and it's like, ooh.
Yeah, it looks real bad.
How old is Buttigieg?
38, right?
Oh, Pete, no.
Yeah, he's got a long political career ahead of him.
No, that is a 50-year-old who was given up haircut.
That's not. No, it's not really.
It's Gilbert Gottfried.
Yeah, like it's like a joke haircut. Like, I don't know if I've seen many adult humans with that haircut. Man, that's rough.
Here, guys. Wait.
Rough.
I'm sending something on Facebook Messenger.
Oh, Facebook Messenger, huh? Oh yeah, that's the picture.
Look at that fucking hairline. Look at it.
Brutal.
Jesus. Oh man.
It is brutal.
Male pattern baldness. Can't take my hair if there's no hair to take.
He looks like the bad guy businessman in like a late 90s movie.
He had like just fine hair. Why did he?
He did. He really looked fine. His poor husband.
Yeah. I mean, I'm assuming he was in on it.
His husband was in on it? What, is this a conspiracy theory?
No, I'm assuming his husband wasn't like, whoa, you did something with your hair. Like, he's a very prominent public figure. I'm assuming he was aware that he was going to be doing something like that.
Oh, I guess the one, maybe this is a little dated even now, but one meme that I'm recalling just now is like applying the beaches will be open by the 4th of July line from Jaws, but applied to Trump saying that everything will be open by Easter.
Yeah, but I mean, like, he said that like 2 or 3 weeks ago. That's been around for a while.
Yeah. Felt relevant. All right, then. I think we are transitioning into the breakouts.
Whoa.
What are you guys checking out?
I am all caught up on Better Call Saul, finally.
Nice. How, still better than Breaking Bad?
No, I never thought it was better than Breaking Bad.
Really?
It's very good on its own.
I thought that was the popular opinion. Okay.
Is it? I don't think
That's
so.
what I've seen a lot online.
Really?
Yeah. Is it?
That's a bold statement. No, I don't think so.
What?
It's very good, and it's of its own, like, own standing. You know, it doesn't rely too heavily on the Breaking Bad characters.
What season is it on now?
5.
Is it and it's still very much a prequel to Breaking Bad, right?
Yep, we're getting closer to the Breaking Bad time period for sure. Like we could be in theory almost there.
Okay.
But we don't really know yet. I mean, Breaking Bad ended after 5 seasons, so I don't know. Maybe they're going to do one more or something. It doesn't seem like it would want to go for too long. And he's already practicing law as Saul Goodman, which took a long time, but he is doing that now this season for the first time. So,
and it's still is it still surprising and interesting enough that you're able to kind of ignore the fact that you know more or less where this character is going to end up by the end of this?
I know where two characters are going to end up, but for the vast majority, you know, they've introduced a lot of their own unique characters, and they've all, you know their fates.
Okay.
So
yeah, I'm glad the moment to moment is still that good. Then cool.
Yeah, I would say the three main like story elements are Saul's story, or Jimmy. His name is Jimmy in the show, Jimmy McGill.
Yeah.
And then Nacho, who is a member of the cartel, his story, and Mike Ehrmantraut, the fixer from Breaking Bad, his story. So it's really kind of like how their stories intermingle and interact with each other without them being aware of it and everything like that. So of the main 3 storylines, I guess 2 of the 3 characters, their fates, but you don't know all the supporting characters in their storylines, what's going to happen with them.
Okay.
So plenty of wiggle room.
Andrew, what are you checking out?
I don't think anything.
No.
I've just been keeping up with Westworld and playing poker with you guys and some Warzone and some Witcher, but I have not had enough time to start watching anything else. I am going to start watching Veep sometime this week with
Nice.
Jade, hopefully. She had been trying to find something we can watch on, watch together, instead of it being she watches something and then later I watch something else. So I told her what Ryan said about Veep and think that might be a good one.
Are you going to check out that extra episode of Tiger King when it hits?
It's
I'm sure.
It's like a talk show.
Well,
It's like an after show. It has nothing to do with the series.
Yeah, it's like Jeff Lowe and. Or you guys didn't watch it, so you don't.
I don't know any of the characters. I just know
Yeah.
Joel McHale. It's going to be like an after show, like Talking Dead and all that with Chris Evans.
Yeah.
So
That doesn't sound too interesting.
yeah,
I thought it might be bonus content of some things that have happened since they stopped rolling.
I think they're going to be interviewing, but yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it would all be over Zoom.
Mm-hmm. Well, because this show ends with what seemed like it could be the start of 30 other documentaries. Spoiler alert. I mean, you learn in the very first episode that Joe Exotic is currently in federal prison as of a year ago. And he is currently working with the feds and PETA to basically bring down everyone else that he ever worked with. Which is fucking insane. And that was the last 5 minutes of the documentary. It's he's going to prison, and then it's oh, this dude's arrested, and this dude's arrested, and this dude's arrested, and this person's being investigated, and this person also has murder charges out, and just crazy shit like that. So I feel there's a lot that still has to happen.
What a wonderful world.
Yeah, it is. God, it is just a trash show because everyone in it is trash, but it's so crazy entertaining and really sucks you in because it's just so weird.
Yeah.
I cannot in good conscience recommend that you guys watch it, but I will say that if you watch it, you probably, I don't know if enjoy is the right word, but something along those lines.
I feel like
what are you checking out?
I have played the first 2 hours and first 2 chapters of Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Wow. How is it?
That's a difficult question.
Is it though?
It shouldn't be.
Yeah, that's a pretty basic question.
It's good. I'm still warming up to the combat, but I think there will end up being a lot of depth there. The changes to the original game, which I played when I think I was maybe 17, are already starting to present themselves and make the whole thing a little more interesting. And so far, the voice acting is really on point, and the changes to the script are a lot of fun. I just saw this one scene where Barrett, the leader of the eco-terrorist group organization, is going on a big, long rant, and then he says something along the lines of, "The planet is crying out in pain, we have to save it." And then Cloud says something like, "You're telling me you can really hear the planet crying out right now?" And he says, "Oh, you better believe I hear it." And then Cloud's just, "You should get help, man." It's a lot of fun.
Sure.
So
glad to hear it.
you've enjoyed the first 2 hours of a 50-hour game that is part of was probably 6-part series.
Yeah. I should probably talk about this. I got a physical copy of this game. It came with 2 discs.
Oh my god. But this is part 1 of, like, 5 or 6.
Yeah, like, one of the discs I had to put in just to install the game. And then the second disc, after that finished, I need to put in to actually play it.
I mean, I mean, Red Dead and GTA 5 did that. I mean, that's not super crazy. A lot of games nowadays have a install disc and then a play disc.
This is my first time coming across that.
I assumed you meant like it was.
No,
like,
it's not
the first
spread
disc
out.
had like half the game on it. Okay.
Also, the one other weird thing I'm noticing from this right now is that, like, all of the main characters are wearing very much, like, main character anime clothes. And all of the NPCs and stuff you walk past are just wearing normal human clothes. And that's unintentionally hilarious.
Sure.
Sounds like good world building.
It sounds like Japan.
Yep.
If I stepped off the boat in Japan and just that was the situation, I'd probably just roll with it. Like, not even comment on it. Just like, yep, all right.
If you
This
walk,
sounds about right.
If you got off the boat and saw just the most attractive 21-year-old man you have ever seen in your life, and then he also has a giant sword strapped to his back. Yeah.
Lucas,
Pretty on point.
are you in love with Cloud?
Yeah, I know.
Are you
It was
not?
Very much the most attractive man you've ever
Never
seen is a
seen.
drawn rendition of a guy with a sword.
I mean, to be fair, the game is
He's got big hair and little arms.
Everyone in the game so far is talking about how hot Cloud is. It's kind of ridiculous.
What the fuck is this game? Is this a
Does he
goddamn?
look any different than, like, the other characters, really, though?
I mean, what do you mean by look different than the other characters?
Like, does he really have defining features? Like, I feel like that's a common thing in a lot of anime, at least for me, is that the art styles are so unique that it almost makes everyone look very similar, like bone structure-wise and everything.
Okay.
Like,
So
they
it's
all
just
have.
hard to discern that, like, this person is supposed to be good-looking and this person isn't.
That's why they give everyone crazy hair and crazy clothes, because their faces look the same.
Yeah,
Um,
honestly, like that's kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah, so I would say yes. Cloud's face shape, I guess, is definitely different than other characters. One of the supporting characters, Biggs, just looks like, circa 1992 Martin Sheen for some reason.
Interesting.
It's kind of ridiculous.
Biggs, Final Fantasy VII. Martin Sheen or Charlie Sheen?
Charlie Sheen, sorry.
Yeah.
Charlie Sheen, damn it.
I was like, I have a picture of what Charlie Sheen or Martin Sheen looks like, and it's yeah, not that.
He looks very much like Charlie Sheen.
I mean, but even that's kind of his hair. Is that just me?
I think it's the jawline, too.
His jawline looks almost identical to Cloud's. Like, I'm switching back and forth between 2 pictures right now. And, like, I guess maybe their noses are slightly different. But, like, even their cheekbones are relatively similar.
think
He's
Cloud has
got
a-
dark eyebrows, and he's usually in dark light.
I think Cloud has a much more angular chin than Biggs does.
I suppose. And that's what makes Cloud hot, and Biggs not? I don't know.
It like 90% of, like 99% of all the characters in this game are hot. Come on.
Okay. That makes it good. You can tell how good a story is by how hot the people in it are.
Boy, network sitcoms are
Yeah.
Hitting out of the park then.
That's some good shit.
What was the one, not a pilot, but like the condensed version of a pilot we watched, where...
The cut down?
Yes,
Yeah.
the cut down where they were, for some reason the show was trying to make it seem like these two extremely attractive people, one of which played the daughter of the chief in 22 Jump Street.
Yeah.
That they
Amber Stevens West.
Yes, that like they weren't like obviously super attractive people and like super stuffy, even though they were clearly in like maybe their early 30s.
So it was called Happy Together.
Yes.
On CBS. It was kind of like they were supposed to be like lame. Like they were supposed to be like, oh, we're kind of in our mid-30s now. We're no longer like the cool young people, and like I'm an accountant, and like you're a architect. So it's not we're not trendy anymore. Even though it was Amber Stevens West and Damon Wayans Jr.
Yeah.
So yeah, like movie star level good looks.
Oh man, young people won't like us anymore. We're 5 years older than them and extremely attractive.
Yeah, and utterly drop dead. Yeah, we ran into Amber Stevens West at the Getty.
Oh,
Were you there, Andrew, or was that with Michael and?
I was definitely not there.
Oh,
I would have
was
remembered that.
I was with Michael and Jason then. Yeah, she was with her baby. It was just her and her baby.
Oh.
In a stroller. Yeah,
That's cool.
she's just hanging out, walking around the Getty Museum. So
sounds like a lovely afternoon.
yeah, and she didn't have anyone else there with her, as far as I could tell. Like she was just a relatively big celebrity walking around the Getty Center, having a nice afternoon.
Huh.
I don't think anyone was bothering her either. Not that I saw, at least.
Everyone was looking at the art, like they should have been.
They were. When we saw her, she was like kind of doing that thing that you do in art museums where you listen to the tour guide of another tour just by like hanging out in the vicinity.
Yeah.
So that's mainly what she was focused on. And then, I guess the tour group was more focused on the tour than her. So, yeah,
Stealthy.
she's very frugal, apparently.
Once again, we are not an LLC. We are liable for everything we say on this podcast.
Okay, if I can get sued for calling a celebrity possibly
Frugal.
frugal for not buying a tour, then I don't know what this world has come to.
And we will discuss what this world has come to in the group chat.
What has this world come to, Andrew?
This world has come to the group chat.
But the group chat is where we talk about what this world has come to. Oh no. It's a positive feedback loop.
Hey, I know something that we're all doing together. We're
What?
doing the quarantine cast.
Yeah, we're doing a podcast together.
Welcome to episode 20 of the Quarantine.
Jesus. That would be pretty meta. An episode inside an episode.
That's almost what tomorrow was going to be if we couldn't line up recording for today.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Funhouse has done that where they do recordings of like gameplay, but then they put like a podcast in between because it's like a drunk podcast. So they'll be doing drunk gameplays, then they do a podcast, and they follow it with more drunk gameplays. So it is kind of an episode within an episode.
Meta!
How meta can you get? 3 meta, 5 me.
Ryan, do you think they're going to nerf the RPG in Warzone specifically because you've been doing so well with it? Or is that going to be OP for a while?
I haven't done that well with it in terms of killing enemies.
You killed 4 people in one go.
Oh, I mean, that was a vehicle, though. I don't think that they better not nerf it for killing vehicles, because right now, like, that's the only thing keeping vehicles in balance, is the fact that C4 and RPGs can take them out pretty quickly.
The RPGs are also pretty hard to use. You know, it's slow. It's really hard to hit somebody from like long distance. You get one
Short
shot.
distance, it's pretty easy.
I
My helicopter quad kill was not skill. Like, they flew directly at me, and I
Yeah,
just
they were trying to
pulled the
run you
button.
down, and they did not expect you to have a rocket.
Yeah, and in my solo win with the guy in the truck, like I missed, reloaded, and still had time to kill him. Like, and there was no skill. It was just point the RPG directly in front of me because the truck takes up almost the entire frame. Like, it was I don't know. If you're using it the way it's intended to be used, I don't think it's difficult. But if you start trying to change up its uses and like shooting down helicopters that are way up in the air, not gonna do very well.
I definitely think it's still useful to have someone, preferably me, run with a Joker in squad matches. But I was playing solos, and I realized pretty quickly that is just useless there.
It is and it isn't.
Yeah.
It had its uses. So like when I was running basically only trucks in solos, I would run the Joker as a backup, and then whenever another vehicle would like come up, because a lot of times in solos you get in these weird chicken matches between like where multiple people have vehicles and they can't get out of the vehicle because they'll get run over. So you just like drive around with each other. So yeah, whenever another vehicle showed up, I would get out, jump into the back of my truck, and then shoot them with the Joker, and then like follow them. And if they didn't get out of their car, like they would blow up, and I'd pick up all their stuff really quickly. And if they did get out of their car, then I could just run them over. So it has its uses for sure. But yeah, I prefer the RPG for solos for sure as well. So. Yep.
Oh, we should probably also say that today is Easter.
Oh, yeah.
It is Easter.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter, y'all. You get some eggs.
So this morning I woke up and I had a text from my mom saying, FaceTime us sometime this afternoon. And she sent me a picture of an Easter basket.
Aw.
And so, because obviously I can't see my parents, they hid an Easter basket somewhere in their house, and then I had to call my mom and FaceTime her, and then, like, direct her to walk around the house trying to find it.
I appreciate...
Yeah, it was fun. It was really cute. And then I found it, and I'm like, okay, show me what's in it. And, there was a chocolate bunny, obviously, like a couple of Rolos, cool, hand soap,
Oh, wow.
tissues, and rubber gloves.
Yeah, I feel like normally that would be a very weird Easter basket.
Yes. She's
You
like,
guys-
it's the times we live in.
Yeah,
Do you guys have face masks?
I do not.
I have bandanas.
Yeah, Andrew was a big bandana guy.
I was.
I remember that about him.
Big bandana boy.
Big member of the bandana elite. Big bandana, as they call them.
I just hope the Crips don't find me.
Oh, do you wear primarily red bandanas?
I do have a red one that I usually wear. I do also have a blue one. Just when I find myself in the wrong territory.
Jesus. I always keep that bad boy in my pocket.
Yeah.
For when I head down to the southwest corridor.
Yeah.
Got to make sure that I'm wearing the right color.
This Crip town, boy.
I say you tie them together in a show of unity during these dark times.
So I can
Walk
get
around
shot
like that.
twice.
No. Don't you remember that image in Straight Outta Compton, I believe, where they tied the bandanas together as a protest of police brutality?
Yeah, but not on their face, and it was two different dudes.
It was two different dudes,
Yeah.
each one holding their own respective color.
I thought Andrew just had a red bandana because he was a sub.
I don't
What?
understand that
what,
reference.
what does that mean?
So there's a thing,
I'm afraid to know, but
there's a thing in the gay and kink communities called hanky code. And
Jesus
depending
Christ.
on what color handkerchief you have, that is an indication of what you're into. Red is that you're a sub.
that's not fucking real.
That's definitely real. Hold on. You realize that these communities had to be underground and on the down low for a very long time. Like, they definitely developed sophisticated...
No, but
codes for
I
that sort of
understand that, but I'm saying it's not real that they call it the fucking hanky code.
Yeah, I don't know about the name, but I promise you that that's real. Let's search the name.
I don't want
Hanky
to.
code. Handkerchief code, also known as the hanky code, the bandana code, and flagging, is a color-coded system employed usually amongst the gay male casual sex seekers or BDSM practitioners in the United States, Canada, Australia, and Europe to indicate preferred sexual fetishes, what kind of sex they're seeking, and that was where it cut off.
I'm sorry, Andrew.
It's very detailed. Hold on.
There's
sorry.
more
than just red.
Wait, which color do I wear for indicating that I don't like hentai?
I don't see it.
It's not that detailed, is it?
Oh my god, dude. These are... I don't see sub. I see way more detail.
I'm sorry, Andrew. I was mistaken. Red indicates that you're into fisting, which pocket you wore it on.
Wait, seriously?
Worn on left is fist fucker. Worn on right is fist fucky.
Oh my god.
Does it have white stripes?
No.
Because if it's in your left pocket, then you're a shaver. And if it's in the right pocket, you're a shavee.
Jesus Christ.
Andrew, what color is your...
Hold on. Red with black stripe in your left pocket means furry bear. Why do you need it? Isn't that more of a visual indicator? Like, people can see that you're a bear.
Well, right, but they might not know that you're gay.
Sure.
Yeah.
But isn't that like gaydar and all that other stuff? It's more like also been developed. I don't know. I guess that's fair.
Andrew, is your blue handkerchief more of a robin's egg, a medium blue, or a navy blue?
Or an Air Force blue.
I mean, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so once again, like, blue on the left pocket, pilot or flight attendant. Like, wouldn't that be your...
Wait, yeah, wait, what?
I think that might be slang.
Oh, really?
I'm going to check out gay slang flyboy.
I think it's not. I think it's straight up.
It's just your occupation? The hell?
I have no idea, man.
Guys, I'm scared. Like I wore bandanas for a long time, and like.
Okay, did you wear them to like a nightclub or something?
No, but
so
like,
probably.
I assume that this is for like noticing people on the street, right?
Are you putting them in your left or right rear pockets?
I'm positive that I have stuffed one of them in my pocket, like my back pocket, at some point.
Okay. Well, then maybe, yeah.
Maybe.
There's a possibility that someone... But I'm assuming, yeah, it's the same thing where, like, you would then casually approach and, you know, like...
I was never
start
approached.
asking questions, and then, like, if it would become pretty clear quickly that this was not a sign at all. It's just a coincidence.
Okay.
Fun times, man.
Well, I'll remember not to do that from here on out.
Once again...
In these times of pandemic.
This is not going to result in anything. They're going to be able to very quickly be like, oh, wait, this person's clearly not in on this game and just...
I know, but it would be an awkward conversation.
No, they're not. Okay, once again, they have ways of doing this on the down low. They're not going to approach you and be like, hey, I see you're into fist fucking. Like, they would just be like, hey, man, how's it going? Like, oh, yeah, what's your situation? What you up to? Like, stuff like that. They wouldn't immediately jump to 0 to 100. So, I don't know. Fun stuff. All right.
Yeah.
Is that the wind down?
I think we are moving into the wind down. Thank you so much for listening to episode 92 of the Voluntary Viewing Podcast. If you like what you heard, please physically like this episode, subscribe for more, leave a comment, leave a rating, all the stuff you can do depending on the platform that you are listening to this on. Also, you can follow us on Twitter at V2_podcast. Send us your questions or business opportunities in an email, voluntaryviewing@gmail.com. And then you can join the likes of Tiffany Cole, Sucky Badger, and Sensual Richard Nixon, and subscribe to us on Patreon. A lot of terrific rewards on there, and it directly goes into making this a better show. My name is Lucas DeRuyter, do some freelance writing and a bunch of other stuff. Follow me on Twitter at Lucas DeRuyter. What is our farewell going to be on this fine Easter Sunday?
A clap sync. Beautiful, 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 beautiful dreamer.
Nope, I have nothing.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Stop it.
Sorry.